Congratulations. Today, one of my clients actually made the big move of moving out of his parents' house into his own apartment in his mid-20s. I'm so proud of you, man. You know exactly who you are. Congratulations. And so for all of you guys, your other guys out there, okay, who are not quite sure whether you should be moving out of your parents' house or whether you should stay, what is the best thing to do in terms of you becoming a man and taking on responsibilities and also not burdening your parents' household anymore, and or in terms of saving money, right? Building up your financial foundation. This is depending, of course, on what your parents are saying as well. Don't take advice from a YouTuber. But at the same time, I've got some experience in this because I've spoken to thousands of men in terms of this specific thing. And I've seen the consequences over time of what happens when you don't, or what happens when you do. So let's get right into it. First of all, what age are you? Because that's going to determine a lot. Are you 30 plus? You should have gotten out of your parents' house a long time ago. Most probably. The only exception is if you have a great relationship with your parents and you are never home. Okay, let me repeat this. If you're above 30 and you have a good relationship with your parents and you are never home, and you also help out with the rent, meaning you're never home because you work a lot, okay? If you're never home just because you're hanging out with your friends all the time or partying all the time and you come home drunk or whatever it is as an addicted living in your parents' household, that's a problem. But if you're working 10 to 12 hours a day and you're in a situation where you have to catch up on your financial foundation, which you haven't built up, but it's time to do that, okay, I understand it. But then it's only because of that. Actually, I can stretch this all the way down to 18 years old. Are you working 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week? Because that's kind of the only time I would recommend that you should accept the invitation of your parents to actually still live at home. And you've also got a bad financial foundation. I have to add that in there. Because if you have a good financial foundation and you work a lot, and you make a lot of money, because if you work a lot, you do make a lot of money compared to your own personal expense of being single and not having anyone that has responsibility, that you have responsibilities for. You should be out of the house. Well, this video became quite simple, isn't it? If you're above 18 years old and you are working 10 to 12 hours a day, meaning you are gone all of the time from your parents' house, and you just simply sleep there. That is the ultimate way for you to build up a strong financial foundation long term. And this should only be if they allow you to live there. Whether you pay rent or not, that's up to you. Because they're willingly accepting that you sleep in a room outside, under their roof, and they're okay with you doing that because they want you to live a fulfilled and happy life, and that requires a strong financial foundation. So if that's the case, accept the invitation and set a deadline and a goal for you of when you're going to move out. Maybe that's when you make 10K a month. That's a good time. Or whether, you've saved up $20,000, whatever it is, you make the decision of when you should move out. But that is the only time if you, as an above 18-year-old person, should ever stay inside of your parents' house. You should never, as an 18-plus-year-old, be leeching off of your parents because you are basically remaining in your feminine energy. You're being a dependent. Are you kidding me? As an 18-year-old male, you cannot be a dependent in that situation. If you are working 10 to 12 hours a day, you're 18 plus, you're working 10 to 12 hours a day, making sure that you're making money 70 to 80 hours a week, right? You're no longer dependent on your parents because you could move out easily. Because you got the money after 18, bro, I'm kicking you out. Unless you're doing the 80-hour work week and you are kicking ass out there. Then I'm like, hey, okay, let's build up your financial foundation. Let's work together. I'll support you in whatever you're trying to build, in my garage, whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? The other thing that I wanted to mention, I wanted to speak a little bit more about the toxic environment situation. if you're in toxic environment and you're over 18, you should definitely have moved out. If you're not busy, if you're addicted to gaming, if you're addicted to prawn, if you're addicted to just being in your bedroom all day long, you should get out of your house. You should move, okay? You should move ASAP. And make sure you now are doing the 70 to 80 hour work week, because now you have to, since you have to pay for your whole place. And become valuable in the marketplace. Last thing I'm going to say is, if you're a substance abuser, you should probably go to rehab. Staying at your mom and pop's is probably not going to help. And if you live by yourself, you're probably going to be in a worse situation. You know, if you can afford rehab, then I would go to rehab. If your parents want you to stay with them in order for you to not be addicted to stuff, then I would stay with my parents, okay? But that's kind of what I would say to most people in general. That's the answer. What I've shared with you in this video today, I hope you take it to heart. Make sure you subscribe and like. Comment down below what you think a person should do. And I'll see you guys in the next one.